Yes, hi guys. Good afternoon to you, my avid viewers, listeners, and followers on Facebook Live the world over. You are welcome to my show this glorious Saturday, the 8th day of December 2018. Yes, good evening, good afternoon to you all. Listen, this is very impromptu, and I've not really made myself known or made any announcement. Yeah, I can see Ayo Onobanjo, the chronic AAC team members. Tosin, Irede, Jennifer, yes, all the AAC guys, the Wale Show, Omoyele Showers crew, all of them tuning in already. Yes, good afternoon, Tosin. You are welcome to my show. I'm yours and truly favorite one and only Frank Bello. I'm coming live to you on Facebook from London, England. It is Saturday, the 8th day of December 2018. The time is just fast approaching the 1 p.m. local time, that is 1300 hours local GMT time. So that will be 1300, but currently it is 12:58. I'm pretty sure that Ayo Onobanjo is watching this live show whilst she is really busy at the salon on Wells Street, D9's hairdressing salon. There are good people there. Not that I'm advertising this particular salon, but I've dealt with them. I think I've been dealing with D9's from Discovery days, then on to Weekend Express. And then, yeah, I think they had a break in between Weekend Express and Hello Magazine. Humanist Osaho Benlizoje Idemwa. Yes, you're welcome. Princess Lawal Omochamin for last mate. Oh, Lord Gregory Chatsworth. The famous Niger butcher on Chatsworth Road. Yes, Greg has been following me for a very long time, and Greg equally used to advertise. I remember very well those. So those guys are now coming back. Look, for those of you who have already tuned in, now let's do something the way we normally do it. Let me send invites. Please permit me and allow me, if I may, to send invites round to the rest of those avid viewers and listeners of mine all over the world. You know, we've got people who watch this same great show the way you are watching it, from France, from South Africa, from Belgium, from all over. Yes, Bayo Oludipe, you are equally welcome to the show. Now, enjoy this piece whilst I invite others in. Alex King, oh, I was reading something on your comment that you were at Lewisham Hospital. I hope everything is well, brother. OJ Baba, you're welcome. Let me quickly just enjoy this piece whilst I send invites out to others. Let's invite others in as well. Saratu, Isaac David, Olori Fumilayo Bello, yeah, Dr. Kitide, Richard Bello, my cousin, Franka Obi, Bola Michael Babalola, those are the Buhari deans, yeah, Mike B, Obalola, Michael Oluseson, Toyin Balokwenti, I'm not too sure where she is, my auntie, Tessia Jirotutu, Raki Bello, my cousin, Marole, JP, Alex King is already in, my friend. Agege Bread, Stephen Omatayo Ayantuga, yeah, Tejuelepo, yeah, Pastor Adeo General, Shoboki, Oba, Oshiberu, Chief Umiele Joka. Manix Koka is in Nigeria, but probably he will tune in. Let's go into this room. Mike Abiola, yeah, Jennifer, Obaseki, Kingsley, Angeliba, yeah, Walex, Aditunji, yes, Bronco, yeah, that's my good friend Bronco. I won't describe Bronco as Buhari, but he's a Buharist, yeah. My good learned friend, Tukwea Shama, yeah, Ayono Banjo is already in, Alpha and Omega in Dalston, Roland Ali Udofia, Oroke Ali Udofia, yeah, that's it. Victor, yes, I remember Ainola in Rivers State, cousin, yeah, in Nigeria, champion, Wale Amadamaja. Let's go into the Bravo, yeah. Of Mishovitia in Abu Dhabi, sister from Bank Anthony, Benson Olusha, Kubabat the Benson, Tayo Babons, yeah. Yeah, perhaps Matibulai will tune in, but she does watch the show afterwards. But this on the sea, yeah. Payo, Ikunlaye, Lekiti, Oturapola Falako, yeah. 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 Okay, let's go to the Charlie group. Yeah, Tanzania. Yeah, Lord Gregory Chatsworth is already in. Yes, I've sent you invites as well. Suki Champion. Princess Lawal, Omochani, yeah, John Craig Bola, my good friend. That's another Buharist. Yeah, Chicago, Bangril, the West, Preppy, Kennedy. Oh, yes. Yeah, Collins Mweke, Belgium, Dr. Chris Mafidon. Let's go to the Delta group. 1 minute, guys. Let me just, yeah, Dayomo Jolo, yes. Dia Ojo Jelenke, yeah. Yeah, Dr. Dayonomo, yeah. Oh. Go to a restaurant. Prince David Chesando Ali, Dominic Arietta. Oh, I was watching Evangelist Tuyemi's praise and worship yesterday. That was awesome too. Don Pedro Koje, my good friend, Barrister Jayeda Ramola, Honorable K, Dairo, yes. Okay, I've got DJ Abbas. Oh, Philip Adeboyega Dada, Sound Image. Oh yes. Oh yes, I was actually, we were exchanging some hot words. Another Buharidin, not the Buharist, but Buharidin. Michael Ejakoba, Pressing Your Life, yeah. Kanem Roberts. Let's go to the Foxtrot. Francis, yeah, Falakin today. My good friend Fatayo Moribido, yes. Ramsey. Okay. Otumba Fenyondo. Festus Genga, you know. Oh yeah, let's go to the golf group. I'll be through very, very soon, guys. Just give me some minutes, please. Yeah. Barrister Benga Kimoyo, Godwin Ogenede, Goddy's Restaurant, yeah, today Alabi, yeah, Godson Azu, Alaba, the Hotel Group, Irene Harding, yeah, show anymore, show anymore, Aziz Salam, okay, yeah, Pepe Adeshoyami, yes. Yeah. Okay, let's go to this one. Yeah. Yeah. Aga, yeah. The Juliet group. Yeah. Oh. Richard Dyer Johnson. The Kilo group. Yeah, I've got a handful. Yeah. Himself, Team Connection. Yeah. Oh, Kasim Afegwa. Some people are shy to actually make their presence known. Kadia Kintani in Lagos, doing Astrop, Photos. Okay, yeah, Leshi. Yeah, Stephen Adinka Ladipo is in Last Lady. Yes, and Larry Popola. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. I should be with you guys very, very soon. Yeah. Jerry Bangla in Uganda. Mazi Bestman Anyimbo, yes. Yeah. Let me see this. Yeah, Pioneer. Let's look at the Oscar group. Ah, yes. Good. Otumba. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, Titi. Ayoguntimo. I think Ayoguntimo is in. Yeah. 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 Let's see. Nothing to say. Oh yes. Okay. Let's do this. Yes. Thank you all. Yeah. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. Let's get that out of the way. Okay. Yes. Kingsley Agberiba. Yes. Thank you. Alex King. Yes. Yes. All is well. Got a letter from the NHS for bowel screening. Health is well. When you are in the club of the golden age of fame, you're bound to receive such letters. Thanks for asking, bro. Yes. Oh, thank God for that. Yeah, Nihi Thomas, you are equally welcome to the show. Today, guys, you're all welcome. I salute each and every one of you for tuning in to watch this show. I'm sure other people will join us as we progress in the middle of the show. Now, today's Saturday, the 8th day of December 2018. Obviously, we all know that the rush to the Christmas and the festive period is ongoing and everyone is busy. Now, We are going straight into episode 18 of hashtag 2019 Nigeria Decides. Now, we started off with episode 1, and like the previous ones, there is usually a knock-on effect that will happen in the next podcast. Now, we're going to treat a few issue uh, live on the show, and if I really want to kickstart this from the education angle. And why do I really want to kickstart that from the education angle? I want to bring into my case to buttress my argument, a case of how government is run and how the citizens in a country, those that voted for political office holder, deliver on their promises. I said I'm going to kickstart that because I really want to take us, I want to take Nigerians back memory lane before we then dig into issues such as the state of security in the country, Aisha Buhari's recent utterances, and then that will lead us into many other issues as well, if I may probably put it that way. Yes, Kendi Creppy, you're welcome to the show. Now, I'm going to kickstart first because I watched a clip which I will be playing for you later on this show a few moments ago. Now, in 1997, I said I'm going to take a handful of you guys back memory lane. So in 1997, to be precise, I knew us at that time very well because that was the year I graduated from the London College of Printing with my publishing degree. And it was a landslide victory for the former Prime Minister, Tony Blair. Tony Blair won. But before the run-up to that general elections that toppled John Major from power, Tony Blair, the former Prime Minister of this great country, is well respected, other than the fact that he made ghastly mistake in following George W. Bush to the Iraq War. I think that was the only deficiencies that I personally recorded, and many people recorded against Tony Blair. But before Tony Blair came to power, Tony Blair promised the entire nation, the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, in all his campaign, Tony Blair fought on one front: education, education, education. See, he came to power. Tony Blair came to power in 1997. Just a few years. Tayo Baba Orounds, you're welcome. Just a few years after Nigeria handed over power to President Olusegun Obasanjo in 1999. So Tony Blair became the youngest prime minister in British history. And when he came in, it was education, 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 education. Now, most of you will remember that the education secretary he appointed at the time was David Blunkett. That was the man. So what did Tony Blair did when he promised education, education, education? Tony Blair left a legacy of creating the academies all over the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. He was widely applauded. It was so successful that Tony Blair promised to actually create 2,200 specialist schools, those academies. At least we can all see exactly that legacy that Tony Blair created. The children, the future generation of children that are yet to be born in the United Kingdom will all still be educated in most of those academies. They are institutions that he created. They were first class. They were not rubbish academies. If one, in fact, some of these academies may not even be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with some of our polytechnics and colleges of technologies and perhaps some universities in the country in terms of adequately equipped labs. Education, education, education. He created the academies. Now, he was in power until he was ousted out of office by David Cameron. Now, where am I really getting into here? I'm getting into a situation whereby within the space of 10 years that Tony Blair was at number 10 Downing Street as the British Prime Minister. Good quality standards in education was created by him. We had President Obasanjo, who ruled from 1999 to 2007, 8 years. What exactly have they showed for it? Almost the same time, so also the current Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, equally ruled Kwara State. You see, most of all these politicians, we need to strategically ask them, what have they done in their various states? And we need to ask President Obasanjo himself, what has he done on education? Education. Somebody sent me a clip earlier on today. I think that clip was from Pearl Peter Price, and I watched it. Some people claimed they were newsmen, so this guy was being interviewed. I mean, I could tell tactically that that guy being interviewed needed a psychiatric's help, and people were making a mockery of him, which is extremely bad. So we need to ask all these people, why have they destroyed the education in our country? We need to seriously ask them, guys, because that is the killer of everything you can think of in that country. The moment the educational system is destroyed in any society, that country has been crippled. Let's listen to the first clip I'm going to play you guys. Listen to this.
Start by acknowledging our senior brother, Mr. Kingsley Wallet, for this event, because those of us who are from the Niger Delta, I'm a local. I may not look it, my nose is straight, my skin is light, but I am from the local government of River State.
See, this guy that you're listening to is Ajuri Ngelale, and he's the anchor of the morning breakfast show on Channels TV. Obviously, from his accent, you'll know Ajuri has got the American accent, and he's been back in Nigeria. Now, please listen to what Ajuri from Channels TV had to say, and it is an opening statement at the River State Anti-Corruption Summit. Listen to it.
Many people don't understand, many Nigerians will not understand the effects of corruption, like the people of the Niger Delta, like the people of River State, like the people of those who live in local governments and communities like mine that have been ravaged by malpractice in the oil and gas industry, that have been ravaged by maladministration, by
it's just
state and local governments in the areas.
It's buffering.
So I know that everybody here understands what the issues are. The question now is about what is it that we're prepared to do to solve those problems.
Yes.
And that's what I want to get to.
Yeah.
You know, Chinua Achebe once wrote a book that many of us may be familiar with called There Was Once a Country.
There was once
a country. Why do I raise that? I raise that because when you take into account the fact that the generation, I'm speaking from the perspective of a young person, and I see many young people here.
Yeah.
The generation of our fathers
yeah.
met a Nigeria, met a country, met a river state.
Yeah.
Different from the ones that we met.
Yeah. Listen.
My father's generation enjoyed a scenario in which they would come out of secondary school.
Yeah.
They would have state-sponsored scholarships abroad. They would come back home.
Yeah.
With their degrees.
Yeah.
Some of them up to master's, some of them up to PhD level.
Yeah.
And they will have a process of selection
from
of the career that they wanted to go into.
That's right.
Not only would they have a selection of career opportunities to go into, but within those career opportunities, there would be a sub-selection of companies that they would work for.
Yeah.
This was the generation of our fathers.
Yeah.
30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
What do we have today? Unfortunately, I'm not here to pass blame. I'm here to talk about solutions, but I have to start from somewhere.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was that generation that had those opportunities that had brought us to where we are today. That's the reality.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, if that generation brought us to this point, and this is the baton that we're being handed, where are we moving to? Where are we taking the next generation? What will they say about us? What will they say about us? You know, we're in a time and a season in our national history where indeed there is a battle for the soul of the nation. And I don't see it the way some people see it. I don't see it as a war between APC and a war between PDP and APC and all these other parties. I don't see that. What I see are two political organizations that have good and bad individuals in both of them. That's the reality. The question is, no matter which party we say we belong to, who are we actually? Who are we actually? Because we've grown up with a generation, like I've said, we watch them on TV, we watch them speak in our churches, speak in our halls, speak in our communities about the need to behave well, the need for integrity, the need to do this and the need to do that.
That's right.
But it's the same people that speak about those things that have brought us to this point.
Correct.
So it has to go beyond a speech.
Yeah.
Now, what is it that we need to do to ensure that it goes beyond a good speech?
Yeah.
And this is why I say, you know, we're talking about corruption in the form of manifestation. We talk about bad roads, bad health centers, bad schools, bad this, bad that, no electricity, no opportunities for the youth. That's manifest corruption. That's the result of corruption. What I want to talk about is the intention that leads to corruption practice. Where does corruption start from? It starts from the heart.
I'm going to pause that. He said where, he asked specifically, where does corruption start from? And then he provided, a jury provided the answer almost instantly. Corruption starts from the heart. Let me quickly take Alex King's comment. That question is easily answerable. To set up their own private institutions, both Obasanjo and Atiku own universities. The irony of it is, some Nigerians quantify Atiku as an employer of labor through his university, yet most of his employees are foreigners. They are foreigners. We got a big problem, my friend. Thank you very much, Alex King. May I ask you, maybe you want to reply as well, Alex King. What are their motives for destroying the educational system? What are their motives? Yes, they have destroyed the educational system that our founding fathers created. In fact, let me go back to the British colonial days. British gave us that education. Our founding fathers, further up, developed on those education. See, like a report that came into my possession not long, in which it was claimed, it was alleged that in the 60s, the king of Saudi Arabia normally fly down to University College Hospital in Ibadan for treatments. Did you get that? Yeah. So again, the question is, what? Yeah, we know both Obasanjo and Atiku not only Obasanjo and Atiku. Let us ask those people. They said we've enjoyed an uninterrupted democracy in Nigeria from 1999 to date. So if we have enjoyed uninterrupted democracy in Nigeria from 1999 to date, what exactly are those leaders showcasing? What are those leaders showcasing to the rest of the world that this is what we have done? PDP ruled Nigeria for 16 years. The United Arab Emirates, it took 15 years to turn the deserts of the United Arab Emirates into a paradise. 15 years. Just almost about the same time Tony Blair became the Prime Minister in 1997, that was when they started building the United Arab Emirates. Visionary leaders had the vision of what the paradise they want to create. Hence, they created it themselves. We have enjoyed an uninterrupted democracy from 1999 to date. What paradise have they created for us? Is Nigeria a paradise, or is Nigeria the hell on earth? Please, maybe Alex King will want to buttress that. What are their motives for destroying the education in that country? If you can provide the answer, I'll be very much grateful. Queen Timilola Pretty, you're welcome. Chief Umiel Elejoka, you're welcome to the show. Let's listen a little bit further to what a jury had to say.
It comes from a place. It's an intention. Now, all the young people here, some of you today may not have a job or may not have an opportunity, but 20 years from now, you may be the governor of River State.
Yeah.
That's the truth. You may be a senator. You may be the president of the Federal Republic. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Controlling billions of dollars, controlling institutions that are weak, which means that whatever you decide will usually go, because the institutions can't check the excesses of men in our country as of today. So when it's your time to reign, when it's your time to man these institutions at a leadership level, what will you do? It all depends.
What? To man the institutions. Let me first take Alex King's comment. Alex King said, yes, yes, yes. I remember when we were younger, we called them all money, no sense. All money, no sense. See them now. And then you further said Nigeria is hell on the surface of this planet. You see, a jury did make mention of institutions. See, our founding fathers. I'm now referring to the likes of the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the late Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, the late Prime Minister Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, and then Sir Ahmadu Bello, the Sardauna of Sokoto. See, the institution that these guys created, rather than develop further, take those institutions to the next level so that the generations coming after them will equally take the same institution to the next level. That is what is meant by nation building. See, let me refer back to let us go back into the NHS. Now, Alex King, I did made mention of the fact that I read a posting that he posted that he was at Lewisham Hospital, and he said he went for a medical checkup. But thank God everything is okay, because you see, when if you are 50 and above, that is when every other every health issues will begin to crack up in our different bodies, but it depends on how our body react. You see, some people created the National Health Service in this country. The rate at which the National Health Service was 70 years ago, because I remember, because I've got people who are in the NHS, in the National Health Service. They celebrated their 70 years this year, and it was a big celebration. You see, the same National Health Service that was created in this country over 70 years ago, we've got government after government after government after government taking the National Health Service to different levels entirely. Welcome, Saratu Ahmed. I've got my very good friend, the Buhari Dean, in the house. Sound image, Philip Adegwega. Dada. You see, so without being a prejudice, the United Arab Emirates that those who stole our public treasury, who looted Nigeria's public treasury, rushed to United Arab Emirates. They will loot the treasury in Nigeria dry, and then decide to buy properties in Dubai and many of the United Arab Emirates. But the visionary leaders in UAE created their own paradise. Within 15 years, they turned the desert into a paradise. Please Google it and see when they started extracting oil from the United Arab Emirates. And Google it when they started extracting oil from Oloibiri Press, 1959. Alex King said, all those you mentioned were visionary elder statesmen. Yeah. They didn't just fight for the independence, they fought for a brighter future for generations yet unborn. Indeed. I'm sure you are referring to those 4 visionary leaders that fought for the foundation the foundation at which Nigeria was built. Alex King, NHS, big kudos, I must say, my friend. Yes, indeed, we all know. Look, I thank God that I've had good health, in the sense that I've never had any operations in my life, with the exception of the fact that when I had my tooth extracted from the Royal London Hospital in Whitechapel. That extraction was my very first operation, and to be honest with you, it was painful. It was very, very painful. That was the only time. But many a time that I've had to visit people who are sick or friends admitted into the hospital to see them, the NHS are fantastic. They are simply fantastic. Government upon government in the UK built the NHS. Perhaps a handful of people are not even aware that the same medical facilities that was in existence in the UK, the British made a replica of the same health system in Nigeria before we got our independence. You see, in England, we have the Great Ormond Street Hospital right here in central London on Great Ormond Street. Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital is a specialist hospital for children. How many of the younger folks realize that in the 50s and the 60s, the 50s, the 60s, and the early part of the 70s, we had an equivalent of Great Ormond Street Hospital in Lagos called Mercy Children Hospital in Lagos. A lot of people are commenting here. Alex King said, wicked people can't even use the same loot to build Western standard hospitals in Nigeria. What effing morons? So says Alex King. What effing moron? I'm not going to pronounce. So he just put effing, yeah, with asterisks. Candy Creppy in the United States said, the foundation is based on love of money. There is no love for general masses, and just check out their personality, no credibility, no passion to serve the people, but just to oppress and acquire whatever they can. But trust me, we're getting there. The awareness has started, and we just need to participate in any form or capacity, because doing nothing is not an option. Yes, I know the angle at which you are coming from, Candy Creppy. Alex King said, yes, yes, yes. Alex King said, wow. Yeah, because I know. I'm talking to you. I know because in the 60s, I repeat, in the 60s, I was treated by the late Professor Olikoye Ransom Kuti at the Mercy Children Hospital. Yeah, I was treated there. Well, according to, yeah, I was, in fact, I was at the point of death I was treated there. It was a first-class treatment. Yeah. Mercy Children Hospital. Wow. Yes, Alex King. But it is not spelled M-E-R-C-Y. It is Mercy, M-A-S-S-Y. Mercy Children Hospital. That hospital, an hospital that was world class at the time, is absolute garbage now. See, at the same Mercy Children Hospital, let me tell you, let me give you a mental picture of what I'm talking about. Wealthy Nigerians, I repeat, wealthy Nigerians will lodge their wives having babies, or who are admitted into the hospital in private wings. They've got private wings. These are stories that I know. Yep. World class. Check it out. The late Professor Olikoye Ransom Kuti was a pediatrician, and Professor Kuti treated me at Mercy Children Hospital. They destroyed it. You see, Nigeria, we've got the finest of doctors, rather than build from every government to the next government, channel resources towards education, towards health, towards employment, towards infrastructures. No. Your leaders, our leaders, looted that country dry. You see, yes, Amina Olayinka, good afternoon to you. You're welcome to the show. See, I get pained inside me because when I look at the filthy state that that country called Nigeria is today, makes me sad. There was once upon a time in Nigeria that we had constant electricity, uninterrupted, constant electricity. There was once upon a time whereby the woles, the house inspectors, they will come into your properties, inspect your environment, make sure your environment is clean and tidy. There was once upon a time in that same Surulere called New Lagos that was developed whilst my late father was the chief town planning officer for Nigeria from the 50s, from 1950, 50, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, and then the early part of 64. The whole of Surulere was a thick forest. The whole of Surulere was a thick forest. The real life was on the island. What happened? The government of the Federation under the British decided, under the British colonial rule, decided to reduce the population on the island, and then built a new city called New Lagos. That Surulere, you see the whole of Shita, Baja, Onitolo, Western Avenue, Sueno, right all the way to the other side of Stadium, Hotel, and the rest of it were developed. And then those families, inclusive of my own family, were moved from Itataiwo and all those environs into the new Lagos. Some refused to leave the island for the new Lagos. They will come in, they will inspect, and there was once upon a time that the drainage system, the gutters, the drainage system across the nooks and crannies of New Lagos will be disinfected by the property developers in that area called the LEDB. LEDB later transferred to be LSDPC, Lagos State Development and Property Corporation. What have they done? Rather than build upon the foundations that those our forefathers built on, they crippled everything and then decide to make Nigeria, like Alex King said, hell on earth. Bamidele Michael Akorede said Buhari rejects electoral amendment bill. No doubt APC has concluded to rig 2019 elections. We're coming to that later on. Bamidele, we're still going into Buhari's stuff. Alex King said uninterrupted electricity supply. Yes, we used to obey traffic lights. Can you imagine? And this is late at night too. Yes, I drove for a very long time in Lagos. In fact, I started driving at the age of 14. Yeah, I was early in everything that I did in my life. Nigeria used to be a fascinating country. Nigeria, those days, look, I used to crawl the night. I was not afraid of anything. Crawl the night from Friday, I'll crawl the night throughout until Sunday morning. I was really a night crawler, going from 42nd Street, from Suya Spot to Paradiso nightclub to phase 2, name them. That country was extremely fascinating. Yeah, Kende Creepy knew everything. Innocent Iyere, you're welcome to the show. Kende Creepy said, my brother, you're talking of good memory lane of love. Yes, good security, employment, and opportunities. Indeed. Soji Additional, you're welcome to the show. What are we talking about? The United Arab Emirates, within 15, not 50 years, 15 years, created their own paradise. You know the fascinating thing about that paradise they created? Because I watched, let me tell you guys, I watched some clips not too long ago about how the oil extracted, You see, every oil extracted in both Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, there is a control room, big control room, that they monitor every crude oil. So nothing got missing. Nobody tapped into any pipes. I watched that. Maybe if you want to go on YouTube and then probably check for that, monitoring Saudi Arabia oil, you will see it. I was mesmerized. Good day, SOJ. Yes, I can see you. I've acknowledged you. Yes, every crude oil in those countries are accounted for. Within the people in power in Nigeria, you get bunkering. They will even steal from their own people. Within the same people in power, you will see them, they'll go and drill a hole on the oil pipeline, and then start stealing their own crude. Nigeria is a mess. It is a big mess. I'm referring to the institutions that Ajuri was talking about, that I played the clip. See, those ruthless and nasty politicians and vagabonds in power in Nigeria, they've made Nigeria the hell on the surface of this planet. See, it is so sad. Let's go into, listen to this. Listen to this. Reverend Father George Ehusani.
I don't know how Christianity has been preached in this society, that people now think that if you have pains and doubts and disappointments, it is because you are not praying well. Where did they get it? Where did they get that kind of message? When Jesus made it clear to us, in the world you will have all kinds of trouble, but do not be afraid, I have overcome the world. Jesus did not give us any insurance policy against challenges and pains and disappointment. In fact, he assured us that if we are following him, if they do this when the wood is green, what will happen when the wood is dry? And that is why I keep saying that if you are really a Christian, that you will have challenges and pains and difficulties. It's not a probability, it is a certitude. Where are our people getting the message that if you are following the Lord Jesus, everything will go well for you? Where did they get that message?
See, this is one of the problems we have. And the reasons why I have played that clip is because the same ruthless and heartless politicians in Nigeria will steal what rightfully belongs to develop human capacity in Nigeria. The funds, the money that is meant to be spent on health and education, they take it to those people. I'll give you an instance. When Pastor Adeboye turned 70 years, Watch the clip backward. There was a brown envelope that was handed to Pastor Adeboye at the service by the minister Jonathan sent to Adeboye's 78th septuagenarian birthday. The minister handed it publicly to Pastor Adeboye. Up till today, heaven knows the billions contained in a written check or probably draft for that birthday celebration. Perhaps that several billions, it can never be millions, perhaps that money, if it is well spent, will build at least maybe 1 or 2 schools in any regions of Nigeria. Ayogundimu, you are welcome to the show. It's a bit hot today because we're going to dig deep into many stuff, to be honest. Now, let's move away from that and let's go a bit deeper. I got something. Well, it was making news anyway. First on my list, Boko Haram attacks UNICEF clinic and others in Nigeria. Boko Haram. So we've got Boko Haram attacking, still attacking. Okay. Now, I think let me load up. Let me load up my. Oh God. Yeah, I think. Let me try and load up my WhatsApp. Maybe I'll be able to actually get. Yeah, I think I should be able to get. Yeah, I think I should, because I want to play those clips directly through the. I want to play the clips directly through the main speaker. Yeah, I want to play it through the main speaker. So I'll try this once again. We try. Yeah, it's trying it. So let's see. It is saying in 12 seconds because the clip I really want to play now. Yeah, Ayogundimu. Yeah, good afternoon to you. Yes, Ayogundimu is saying good afternoon to everyone and all the guests present. Okay, let's try that one more time. Yes, I think it is reloading because the clip I want to play, I can easily play that rather than play it from my tablet here because that is connected to the speaker. Okay. All right. What is happening? Let's see. Let me get that back up again. WhatsApp. Okay, yes, it is now responding. Now it is responding. Let's see. Yes, it is responding now. Yeah, it's loading up now. Yeah, I've still got messages actually coming through. Okay, no, it's not loading. Okay, let me first start by playing this. Let's first of all go through to this. Listen to this. Then we will treat. Listen to this. Now, did you remember this? These are the National Assembly workers in Abuja. So what happened? I'll explain it to you. They actually barricaded the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, because these guys are owed salaries. So what they're shouting here is that no alert, the Senate will not sit. I'm not getting something straight. Maybe I'm the one. Maybe somebody will have to check my brain if my brain is sound enough, or maybe I should seek medical help, because these guys working at the National Assembly who barricaded the Senate President said no alert, no sitting. Yeah, Saratu Ahmed, you're right. That was the National Assembly protest. You're right. See, the problem that I'm trying to figure out, I thought that those workers, are they not on the payroll? Are they not federal government employees and civil servants? Because they work for the National Assembly, so their payroll should be automatically linked up to the federal government's payroll? Or is it the National Assembly that administer their payroll and then submit the bills to the Federation account? But it seems, I think we need to check that out. But listen to that. Listen to this again. No alert, no sitting. No sitting. See? Now, you see, Bukola Saraki is now talking. You see, Nigeria is going to elections, and the same Bukola Saraki, who is the Senate President, wants to recontest again as a senator from Kwara State. And here, the Senate President cannot say to the world that he wasn't paid. At the end of the day, he's still receiving his full salary as the governor of the ex-governor of Kwara State. He's still on Kwara State payroll. He's getting his retirement as an ex-governor. He's being paid as a senator, and there's another pay that goes with the office of being the Senate president. So you see, it bothers me that he can have access to his own salary uninterrupted, and the common civil servants that push all the paperwork at the National Assembly are not paid. So if those guys are not paid, the question we ought to ask these people is that, have they got any conscience? Now, this is now taking us back to Ajuri's comments, statements on anti-corruption campaign in Rivers State. So how do they expect these poor people to feed their family? What if they've got children? How do they expect those children to be fed? It sickens me. It sickens me. I don't know about you, but it sickens me to my stomach. I've managed to get this back up now. I'm going to play you this particular one. Listen to this. We're now going to go straight into Buhari. We will treat Buhari, and then we will treat Boko Haram. Yeah, Ayogundimu, you said we must kick out this bunch of looters totally, and you came up with you indicated that you are really angry. You said totally unacceptable and sickening. Indeed, it is very sickening. It is very, very sickening. I don't know if they've got heart, because Ajuri said it, that it is in your heart to steal.
To basically highlight what I have just recorded in the
now. I want you to listen to this, please.
To basically highlight what I have just recorded.
This is Honorable Sonny Mohammed.
To reinforce
He's talking about the state of insecurity in the country.
By my previous colleague, by my colleagues who have just spoken. Now we just returned from a tour, an oversight function from Borno and Yobe states. And I can say the description of northern part of Nigeria that is under siege by Honorable Chika, believe me, is an understatement. The northern part of the country is failing. Actually, it has failed in so much part of it. And my fear is that this grave situation will have a contagion effect on other parts of the country. There is no doubt about this. Honorable Speaker, my dear colleagues, on Thursday, when we went to Maiduguri, excuse me, I have a crack.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, no. I shouldn't do this. Sorry about that. I just accidentally clicked on something else. Let me just get back onto that. I accidentally clicked on something. Please forgive me. Let me go back into that particular tape again. Yeah, it's coming up again. Yeah.
To basically highlight what I have just recorded in the northeastern part of the country, in order to reinforce the picture that has been painted by my previous colleague, by my colleagues who have just spoken. Now we just returned from
a tour, an oversight function from Borno and Yobe states. And I can say the description of northern part of Nigeria that is under siege by Honorable Chika, believe me, is an understatement. The northern part of the country is failing. Actually, it has failed.
The northern part
so
of the country has
failed. And my fear is that this grave situation will have a contagion effect on other parts of the country. There is no doubt about this. Honorable Speaker, my dear colleagues, on Thursday, when we went to Maiduguri,
listen.
Excuse me, I have a cracked voice. On Thursday,
got a frog in his throat.
Arrival in Maiduguri, Boko Haram insurgents launched an attack on an IDP camp called Dalori 2, which is just opposite the University of Maiduguri. They burnt down a substantial part of that IDP camp, killed 8 people, and abducted women and run into the bush unchallenged. We went to Bama. Bama, the second most important town in Borno State, which is also the exit point to 3 other countries,
Niger,
Cameroon. And neighboring Cameroon. There are no 200 persons in Bama today. The talk of safety being restored, the talk of normalcy and stabilization being restored in part of Northeast is a farce, it's a ruse. It's not correct, it's a lie.
See?
Now, before you will be escorted to any parts in those parts I'm talking about, you need almost a platoon of soldiers. And even the soldiers themselves, in spite of all the encouragement we give them, the fact of the matter is that they are not confident.
Did you hear that?
On Saturday,
in 2018,
we traveled to Gashua in Yobe State.
Listen.
On our way back, we were at Damaturu at exactly 7 o'clock. We could not move to Maiduguri, which was just a distance of 1 hour. 1 hour we would have been in Maiduguri. But by 6 o'clock, up to now, there is no movement from Yobe into Maiduguri at Benishek. In fact, I wonder that my colleagues are not they are not painting this picture on the floor of this parliament.
You see?
So we had to stay back in Maiduguri, to sleep over in Maiduguri with the only clothes we had, no towels, no brushes, until the following day when we were allowed by the security agencies, including our escorts. The Honorable Speaker, my colleagues, part of our assignment would have been to travel to Chibok. Chibok is a no-go area. Only 3 days earlier, they attacked a village. They raided a village next to where the Chief of Army Staff comes from. Killed people.
Did you hear that?
Ran back to the village unchallenged.
Did you hear that?
The fact of the matter is that these insurgents are also in control of certain territories, like Abadan local government, Ngala local government, Kalebanke local government. All these are being administered by the insurgents.
See, guys, we are in serious problem. We're in serious problem. Mohammed Alaja Abeke Adebayo, you're welcome to the show. See, in 2000, in fact, let me go into this nasty bit now. Let me come in here. Which one should I start first? Okay, let me start with this one. Listen to this one.
What?
You can put it in a nasty way as you want, but I assure you we haven't failed. Adamawa State, Yobe State are free from Boko Haram. Borno, which was their base, I think they have 23 local governments. Boko Haram has reverted to using IEDs, improvised explosive device, indoctrinating young girls from 15 years and below to go and explode it in churches, in mosques, in marketplaces, in motor parks. They will now be reduced to that. But articulated conventional attacks on centers of communication and population in towns and so on, they are no longer capable of doing that effectively. So I think technically we have won the war because people are going back into their neighborhoods. We have a committee on the ground liaising with local governments through the state and so on. People are going back. Our major problem now is rehabilitation, with over 1.5 million people internally displaced persons, repairing the infrastructure, the schools, the health centers, the number of buildings below. That's what we are facing now. But Boko Haram, as an organized fighting force, I assure you that we have dealt with them.
Your critics say you are playing the blame game, spending time blaming the previous administration instead of thinking of how to take Nigeria out of its present situation. What have you to say about that?
I think they have been unfair. I've just been telling you, and Nigerians know Boko Haram was effectively holding 16 local governments before. In the 3 states, Borno, Yobe, and Adama. Yobe and Adama are absolutely free. And there are 3 local governments or 4 maximum in the hand where Boko Haram are there. And I have told you that they cannot now marshal forces and attack towns or attack military installations and so on as they did, as they used to take.
He's lying. He's you see, this man is the biggest liar of all time. Probably he's not even aware of the fact that Boko Haram recently invaded a police station and killed all the police officers. He's probably not aware that in 2018, the weapons in the hands of Boko Haram in Nigeria is far more sophisticated than what he provided through the Chief of Army Staff. But he's aware, though, that those in the army fighting Boko Haram that they keep sending to the war front are mostly Igbo and Yoruba soldiers. But the whole security apparatus of the nation is heavily concentrated on one tribe. That's why I labeled him a liar. Listen to this in 2015.
am of course aware that in the recent months and in recent days, there have been some operational losses in the northern part of Borno state, particularly in Jili, Arege, and Matele. I know that you are doing your best to reverse this trend, and I want to assure you that no effort will be spared in providing the necessary support you require to complete the task. We remain committed to ending the crisis in the Northeast and making the entire area safe for all. I urge you all to keep up the good work. I am also painfully aware that some gallant officers and soldiers have paid the supreme price in the course of these anti-terrorist operations. While we remember...
See, it is so sad that he promised Nigerians that Boko Haram will be history. But from 2015 to date, so far, the situation is even worse. Listen to this.
I think people are the judges. I think this is because we will go out in the northeast, where the reorganization in the military, the change of the service chief, and who were given the terms of reference of reorganizing, retraining, and improving the equipment, and then chasing the Boko Haram to wherever they are after getting the cooperation of our neighbors, Cameroon, Chad, Niger, and Benin Republic. So I think with the resources available to us and the time, I think the Nigerian military and law enforcement agencies have done well in our first task of securing the country.
Are you anywhere close to identifying where the Chibok girls are and where they are being held? Are they being held together? Are they separated? I mean, what has your intelligence shown?
What we know is that they have kept them in different places so that we cannot be taken by surprise and get them released.
Now, since you came, there is the notion that Muhammadu Buhari has been fighting corruption. But up to this moment, have you been able to recover a single penny from someone who has been investigated for corruption?
We are beginning to realize some returns of funds, which we said all monies now should go to the federal government accounts in the central bank and so on. And then we can use those documents subsequently to prosecute those that participated. And because of the system in the Western developed countries, people are all innocent until are proved guilty. And because of the interest of the financial institutions that are quite powerful, we have to be very careful about it. But I'm very pleased with the reorganization in NNPC. We are getting a lot of results, which we hope in a couple of months' time we can make clear disclosures and start the prosecution of those that have been stealing the crude.
I can assume that the people that you are investigating and that you are going to prosecute are people who have worked in the oil industry and those probably having companies pertaining to the oil industry.
Yeah, certainly those who have been in charge of NNPC at top level, they can't claim ignorance of what has been happening for the last 10 years. And the companies, including the shipping companies, tanker companies, that allow themselves to be used to lift illegal crude from Nigeria, or to change at high seas, or head for a different destination from which they're not in Nigeria, they cannot deny innocence. I think people are the judge.
You see, I don't know where we are going. Thank you very much, Dominique. Ariata, you're welcome to the show. See, guys, we live in a terrible period. There's a question I want to ask you, because the next clip I'm going to play, I want to play the clip that's really gone viral of Aisha Buhari, and I want to make some sense out of it. Listen. No, this is not the Aisha clip. Let me see the Aisha clip. Let me see. Let me go back this way and see. I think Aisha's clip is somewhere at the top here. Yeah, I found it. Here it is. It's buffering at the moment. Listen.
As we did not buy votes, we form a government, the government that have overthrown an incumbent for the first time in the history of Nigeria.
This was
Afterwards,
Aisha
we
Buhari.
to have a teamwork. We had a bit of teamwork, but it wasn't full. All the achievements that have been listed for the past 1 month, people have been singing the songs of achievements. We will have achieved that within 1 year of the administration. But it happens that we're dragging up to, like, this is the 4th year. So we believe in teamwork. And we believe in government of inclusiveness. People should not relent. People should continue to fight, continue to talk against the few that dominated the government.
The few that dominated the government. Underscore the few that dominated the government.
15-point-something million last election. And after that, only for us to be dominated by 2 people.
2 people.
That hinders a collective teamwork that we have started.
2.
Which is totally unacceptable. And if 15.4 million people can bring in a government, and only for the government to be dominated by 2 people or 3 people, where are the men of Nigeria? Where are the Nigerian men? What are you doing? Instead of them to come together and fight them, they kept visiting them one after the other, licking their shoes. I'm sorry to use that word.
Licking their shoes.
We should continue to say no. Because this is the future, not of my age, not of my husband's age, but the future of our children and our grandchildren. We are talking about better Nigeria. We are talking about Nigeria, where all those that had a brain drain that went to another country to work should come back and participate in this country.
Guys, I salute that courageous woman called Aisha Buhari. We want to talk. I want to focus more on her now before we go into the other part, which might be bringing this to a conclusion. Now, this is not the first time that Aisha Buhari will make her voice heard. You remember the very first time she made it public that her husband's government had been hijacked. And she said two people. She's now instructing Nigerian men to fight these 2 cabals. Just two. She refused to name names. The two cabals she's referring to in that statement, in her speech, are no other two people than Abba Kyari and Lawan Daura. Have you ever asked yourselves, because I did pose some questions to you guys before, when last have you seen Muhammadu Buhari chairing the fake meeting, Federal Executive Council meeting? When last have you seen Muhammadu Buhari chairing the Council of States meeting? Council of States meeting is when all the past heads of state will meet at the chambers in Asavila to discuss about Nigeria. The last Federal Executive Council meeting, Buhari was not in attendance. It was chaired by the Vice President. Pay particular attention to Aisha Buhari's speech. The woman is under stress. She's been caged. Everything she said there, she was bold enough. She knows what is going on, but she cannot disclose. When last have you seen Zara that knows how to tweet about her father's government and administration? Guys, when last did you see Zara tweeting about her husband? I promise you guys that the issue of Muhammadu Buhari cloning is not going to go away, because it is already a big issue. In fact, around the world stage, the world is even making a mockery of our president. The next clip I'm going to play for you is this. Listen to this.
Hi, fellow Nigerians. I want to bring a message to you today concerning the confusion that is going on right now in Nigeria. It is no more news or secret, so to speak, that the man who we have as the president of Nigeria, he is actually not the Buhari that you and I know. For those of us who campaigned for Buhari at that time, we know very well that the man in Asorok right now, that is not Buhari. I know some of you are living in denial, and you are telling yourself that can never be true. But for those of you who have been following me, if you will look back and remember the revelations that God gave me for Nigeria before Buhari won the election in Nigeria, I did reveal to you guys then that.
Oh, sorry about that. Let me just, yeah.
Hi, fellow Nigerians. I want to bring a message to you today concerning the confusion that is going on right now in Nigeria.
I'll take your comment.
It is no more news or secret, so to speak, that the man who we have as the president of Nigeria, he is actually not the Buhari that you and I know. For those of us who campaigned for Buhari at that time,
I'll take your
we
comments.
know very well that the man in Aso Rock right now, that is not Buhari. I know some of you are living in denial, and you are telling yourself that can never be true. But for those of you who have been following me, if you will look back, I remember the revelations that God gave me for Nigeria before Buhari won the election in Nigeria.
Listen,
I did reveal to you guys then that Buhari was going to win the election in Nigeria, but there will be a power vacuum in Nigeria after Buhari has won the election. Then Nigeria was going to have a vacuum in the power, in the position of power in Abuja. And I remember saying very well then, the video is still on YouTube up to today.
Yeah.
I remember saying very clearly then, back then, that there's going to be a mystery that will unfold in Nigeria. Jonathan will not be the president of Nigeria. Buhari will win the election, but he will not be president of Nigeria. That Nigeria was going to have a vacuum in power, and that it was going to be very strange indeed how there will be nobody in power in Nigeria, that Nigeria will not have a president. But Buhari will win the election, but there will be a power vacuum in Nigeria. Brethren, it is unfortunate that it has happened already, and there's truly a power vacuum in Nigeria, but so many of us have chosen to live in denial. We want to look at it that this cannot be true. All these giants in Nigeria, how come and how is it possible that a fake man will be brought to Nigeria? When Buhari went to the hospital in London, I remember posting so many times how we have authentic intelligence that the organ transplant that this guy went for actually failed. The organ, his body reacted very badly to the organ. You know that Buhari was already very old. I mean, this guy was getting to almost 90 years of age. Don't mind this stupidity that they're parading all over the place, trying to convince people that the man is 75 years old. How can Buhari be 75 years old when his own genius is 83 years? I mean, sometimes I just look at Nigerians and I pity our people, because it's as if we get so educated, we become so stupid at the end of the day. Because that is one country that can boast of some of the most educated, some of the most educated people anywhere in the world. But it's unfortunate that in the midst of so many educated people, such a scandalous thing can be taking place, and everybody just sits as if nothing is happening. Everybody just go about their business. You must have to understand this, that a great calamity is taking place in Nigeria. I mean, for once in the history of Nigeria, all the service chiefs who are already overdue for retirement, they have all been retained. And you are not wondering why is this so? There is a very serious agitation going on in Nigerian military right now.
Listen.
And I am telling you, the outcome will not be good. Because the military brats, they already know that we don't have a president. So as many of you as want to continue to live in denial that we have a president when we don't have a president, continue fooling yourself until that day it will dawn on you all that those of us saying this emphatically that we don't have a president, that we are the one telling the truth. But we just pray. Our sincere prayer is it will not be too late for Nigerians to wake up to realize that we don't have a president in Nigeria. As it is right now, Nigeria does not have a president
at all.
We have an impostor who has been brought in, and then all the top echelon of our intelligence system,
they know
that won't be bribed to keep quiet. But you see, they may keep quiet, but their subordinates will not keep quiet.
That's right.
Nigerians are not all fools. Nigerians are not all idiots. So let those political elites, the political top brats who think that they have
fooled all of us.
That's right.
Let them continue playing this game of charade. And that is why I can tell you guys very clearly. Mark my word, there will be no election in the year 2019 in Nigeria.
Do you hear that?
Mark my word.
No election.
There may be no election in Nigeria in 2019. There will be a revolution.
Listen.
There will be a terrible revolution. Look,
listen.
So I've been approached by some people to support Atiku, and I've told them very, very clearly why I will not support Atiku.
I have my own doubts too.
Atiku is in this game going on right now. Atiku is aware of this fraud going on in Nigeria. Papa Santo is aware of
all of them are aware
in Nigeria. T.Y. Danjuma, General T.Y. Danjuma is aware.
All of them, they are aware. I said it,
yes.
I've said it before.
And the worst of it all, the one that calls himself a pastor, who has virtually right now become like a fraudster also. That is the vice president, Professor Sibajo. Because he think he's a pastor, right? Yes, everybody.
See, that was why I brought in the issue of why is Muhammadu Buhari not chairing the Federal Executive Council's meeting? Sean Wisdom Ogunsanwo, you are welcome. Oh, Evangelist Duduyemi Timtokadile, you're welcome. T. Olateju, you're welcome to the show. Dominic Eriata, you said Aisha Buhari have written her name in the Guinness Book of World Record. Can't the woman campaign to use her as president? I think you're right. I think you are on point. Perhaps Aisha Buhari will be a forthright president. She's educated, she's learned. Yeah, we might be looking along that line, but the fact of the matter is, will the northern oligarch, will they allow Aisha Buhari to lead the North, talk less of leading Nigeria? That is questionable. Because you remember that time, it was the same husband that came onto the world stage right in front of one of the most powerful women on earth, Angela Merkel of Germany, who then described his wife that she belongs to his kitchen and the other room. You know, the North will not allow Aisha. No, they won't allow her. Left to me, she will probably be a good president for Nigeria. See, Dr. Obi Ekwesili, she's running because she's a presidential aspirant, because she's rubbed shoulders with Obasanjo and the likes of them, Jonathan, and the mere fact that she's from the South. Some of these guys won't get there. Perhaps you'll be amazed that Omoyele Sowore with this AAC will surprise a lot of people at this forthcoming general election, if there is one. Earlier on last year, guys, don't forget, I want you to revisit my old podcast, hashtag revolution is inevitable in Nigeria. Early last year, I made it known. I made it known to Nigerians at the time that the revolution that will eat up Nigeria is not going to come from within Nigeria. It's going to come from the outside, from those who are in the diaspora. We're just moving very gradually into it. We're just moving very gradually. Now, this is another confirmation. A revolution coming to eat up Nigeria. The author declared there won't be election. I've been hearing it. It's been in the air that there won't be election. This guy made his revelation since last year about Muhammadu Buhari, which is still on YouTube. Let's listen to let's listen to the rest of his speech.
Look at him as a pastor, but look, let me tell you one thing. I told him then that if they win the election in Nigeria and he become an enemy of Nigeria, I am going to become one of the people who will fight against him with everything I've got. Today, I can see categorically and very clearly Professor Yemi Osinbajo has failed God. Professor Yemi Osinbajo has failed Nigeria. Professor Yemi Osinbajo has become a disgrace to Christianity. He has become a disgrace to the nation of Nigeria. He has become a disgrace to his family. He has become a disgrace to the legal profession that he represents. Because all the needed.
Let me buttress more on the reasons why this guy kept on emphasizing that Professor Yemi Osinbajo is a disgrace to Christianity. You remember, this was the same vice president that came up and then said that Nigerians should pray for Nigeria. This was the same Vice President Yemi Osinbajo that was educated in the educational system that was founded by our founding fathers. The same Professor Yemi Osinbajo is the beneficiary of the quality and quantitative educational system in Western Nigeria. We both are. You see, in 3 years, despite the fact that he's vice president, but he's acted in many capacity when his boss was on a medical trip to the United Kingdom. What legacy is he leaving behind? Has Professor Yemi Osinbajo built on top of the educational system that was destroyed? In one of my podcasts, they promised to feed Nigerian children in their campaign in 2015 of primary school age. I showed you a video clip of the nasty piece of poison that these primary school children were fed on. One tiny piece of a loaf of bread and a poisoned soup that is not even fit for a dog or a cat to consume. That is what they provided for those children. That is exactly what that guy is referring to. Let's listen to him further.
To do was have a little ball. All we needed to have is a little ball to stand up to the cabal that has decided to arrange the destruction of Nigeria. He sits there, calls himself.
You remember this? This is the same cabal that Aisha Buhari was referring to in the earlier clip I played you. She said two people are holding Nigeria to ransom. Those two, without any shadow of doubt, I'll give you their names once again. Abakari, he's deceased now, and Lawan Daura. Let's carry on.
Himself a pastor. He calls himself a legal luminary, and yet he does not have any ball to stand up to evil that is going on. Nigeria is being sold in the open market. Nigeria is being destroyed in broad daylight. And somebody who calls himself a pastor sits there and allows it to happen. Oh, the judgment of all those who call themselves GOs and fathers, or let me use that word, fathers, who are all in for this, who all know what is going on in Nigeria right now, that we don't have a president, but choose to keep quiet. God is going to judge every one of them. Fellow Nigerians, let me tell you one thing. God is going to judge everyone who knows about this. And let me tell you one thing. The revolution that is coming is going to sweep through Nigeria. Some of these GOs, their blood will be spilled in broad daylight. Guys, watch out. Judgment is coming, and it's going to be very swift. Judgment is coming, and it's going to be very hot. Judgment is coming, and it's going to be very terrible. Because everyone who have hand in the destruction of Nigeria, everyone who have hand in this secret of bringing a useless imposter to pretend to be our president. Brother, let me tell you one thing. The revolution that is coming, oh, they will be under the trailer. Yes. And God is going to judge every one of them. So, brother, let me tell you one thing. The information of the news about the fake Buhari is not a ruse. It is a reality. Take it or leave it. Nigeria does not have a president. Nigeria presently has an impostor. Nigeria presently has a cabal ruling over Nigeria. We don't have a president. Nigeria does not have a president. Aisha Buhari does not have a husband anymore. Buhari never left London alive. The guy who left London was never Buhari. Take my word, take it anywhere. Buhari never left the city of London. Buhari never came back to Nigeria. That guy, that clown who calls himself Buhari right now, was hired to do the job he's doing. You guys may not want to believe it because we choose to live in denial. We are behaving like the ostrich who had their head in the sand when the goings get tough. But very soon, reality will be done on everyone that some of us are not making noise. We are giving you authentic information that Nigeria doesn't have a president. I only pray that it never gets too late. I only pray that this game does not go on for too long, because the consequences will be very, very severe. God bless you all.
Did you hear that? Nigeria does not have a president. Nigeria does not have a president. Ayogundimu said, well, the campaign trail is on. What are we getting? The Buhari Oshibajos are distributing money. They're distributing bread. Yeah, I said it. Bread to Nigerians. Bread. I've got a picture of it in front of me here. Now, what I want to go into.
Değerli hocalarımız haftanız
No,
konuşuyor.
I don't want to play
Bugün
this.
önemli.
Yeah, in fact, I think I am going to, let me see. No, let me keep that for another time. I think the next one I really want to touch now is it's this one. Is it? Yes.
Pardon me to interrupt here. Excuse me, please let me finish. Because it's vital I ask this question to tie into what you want to say. Right. The question I want to ask is tied again to the question Dimba asked you. What is it that the PDP is coming to rescue Nigeria from? If the nation or the electorate will tell you that in this...
No, this is not what I really want to talk about. Yeah, not that one either. Not that one either. Not that one. Yeah. Now this is
Nigeria.
Now this is the one. This is the one I want to talk about because it seems this issue of Muhammadu Buhari being cloned. There's been a mockery of it all over the whole world. All over the whole world. Nigeria has been mocked left, right, and center. And what does that entails? That means that Saratu Ahmed, I'm sorry to hear that network does not favor you today. Kept missing the podcast, or rather kept losing. I think it is your network in Abuja, Saratu. Oh, sorry about that. So, comedians across the Atlantic in the United States, they started making a mockery of our president. Listen to this.
Nigeria is defending himself against an unusual accusation. This is a real tweet from Muhammadu Buhari. He wrote, "One of the questions that came up today in my meeting with Nigerians in Poland was on the issue of whether I've been cloned or not."
See, he addressed the nation whilst he was in Poland, to tell Nigerians that he was not cloned. So why Poland? Why does Muhammadu Buhari had to wait to tell Nigerians in Poland that he was not cloned? Why? So when all these allegations are flying about, why can't he mount the NTA and then beamed through many of the other channels to address the nation, to put the allegations to rest? How come in Poland? You see, an American comedian is making a mockery of that. Listen to that.
The ignorant rumors are not surprising. When I was away on medical vacation last, the president of Nigeria is defending himself against an unusual accusation. This is a real tweet from Muhammadu Buhari. He wrote, "One of the questions that came up today in my meeting with Nigerians in Poland was on the issue of whether I've been cloned or not." The ignorant rumors are not surprising. When I was away on medical vacation last year, a lot of people hoped I was dead. President Buhari was out of the country for more than 3 months last year, and there was a rumor he died. They replaced him with a clone, which would mean they planned this when he was born, I guess. But he says that is not true. He says, "I can assure you all that this is the real me. Later this month, I will celebrate my 76th birthday, and I'm still going strong," which is exactly what a clone would say. And that's
Can you see that?
So, I don't
Making
know.
a mockery. It's not funny.
A clone president. It kind of reminds me of that movie with Kevin Kline, Dave. You remember that? Here, you ever seen that movie, Dave?
No, Jimmy, I have not seen it.
Listen.
Hold on a second. Are you a clone?
No, I am the real Guillermo.
You know what? We just got back from vacation. I think someone may have swapped Guillermo's. Can we get He's probably back in the green room. Get to the shot of the green room, please. Yes.
Number 8. Let's do it.
Guillermo. No.
They're showing another clone of the man.
Guillermo. Oh my God, Guillermo.
This is interesting.
Why aren't you in here working, Guillermo?
I'm there working, Jimmy. Look at the doors.
Yeah. That isn't you at the door.
Not me.
No, it's not you.
Oh, I guess I called wrong in today.
Yeah, and you're good to know that is it. They've turned into the loving, laughing stock
Okay, thank you very much.
of the world. That is exactly what we are getting in
the president.
The issue of
no, we're not. We don't want that. Let's see. Yeah, we've got that. We've got that. Now, I did say to you that Boko Haram invaded. I think this particular one was that was Boko Haram who invaded. It was too graphic. Boko Haram invaded a police station and then killed all those police officers. It is so sad. Listen to this. Now, here, the wife of the president wants the APC voted out of power. Why? Because she claimed that the husband's presidency has been hijacked. And then, whilst I try to bring this to a conclusion, I got this particular one. Let me explain exactly what is contained inside it. Now, in Lagos, there is a woman wearing a red baseball cap, bearing Buhari at the top. She's got a notepad and a pen, and then there were people, loads of people who are on the queue, perhaps in the marketplace. So now, because there is that Buhari written at the top, so that indicates now that they are actually taking the names of market women who will vote for Buhari in 2019 and then promising them 10,000 naira after they've casted their vote. This is a fraud that is going on. Now, let me play the tape from the beginning again. I'll take it.
Oh, if you vote for Buhari, no.
Can you hear that?
Before you vote, you collect 10,000. Yeah.
Before you vote, you collect 10,000. See, there is a APC logo at the other side, on the side of the cap with Buhari, the red cap. I'll take your comment now, Sarah. So they're taking names. That means they're taking their stock, basically. See, it is so sad that Nigerians can decide to sell their own conscience. It is so sad. Saratu Ahmed, Justice Squad, said, how can I get it? I love to watch it. Which of them would you love to watch? I am not sure which of the clip you want to watch. Saratu Ahmed said, you know, Aisha Buhari said at the end of the speech that she knew Mrs. Oshibajo is nervous because they don't want her to say something outside of what they wrote for her. It's in her full speech. Okay. So Saratu said, let's check that out. Let's check that out. Let me check that out. Okay. I'm checking something out here, guys. Okay, here we are. Okay. All right. So I see. So Mrs. Oshibajo is nervous. Did you hear that? The wife of the vice president, is nervous. They didn't want her to say something, to say anything outside of the speech they wrote for her. Guys, Nigeria is in deep trouble. We are seriously in deep trouble. Listen to this. Just listen to this. It's loading up. Now, this particular clip,
the PDP, of course.
Yeah, this clip I'm just about to play for you is between engineer Galadima, who is a very close friend of Buhari and one of hardcore Buharists. Listen to this.
Ahmed Gulak of the APC. Mr. Gulak, I come back to you before we went on that short break.
So we've got Gulak and Galadima here on Kakaki AIT Kakaki's program. Listen.
Making your thought. What role is the Northwest Zone going to have as far as the 2019 election is concerned? You have contended that whatever the PDP is doing amounts to nothing. Your position being that the Northwest has always been the traditional zone of the president, and it's easy pickings for him.
Not that I have said, is practical. Go and check your records. Since 2003 that President Buhari have been contesting till 2015. No president that contested.
You see, guys, with people like Ahmed Gulak, one of the APC chieftain, you see, Ahmed Gulak, I'm sorry to have to say it, is a twister of history and information. And one needs to be very careful of such people. Ahmed Gulak and that Mr. Liar, that Minister of Information in Nigeria, Mr. Liar, they need to be checked. Listen.
With him, dead or alive. What I mean by dead or alive, including former President
Musa Erwadwa of blessed memory, from the same Northwest zone, from the same Katsina state with President Buhari. President Buhari defeated him not only in Katsina,
that
but
was
in the
a
Northwest
lie.
zone.
That was a big
Talking about the campaign
that's why I
of
said
the PDP in Sokoto,
Gulag
the
is
day
a
before
twister of history
we
and
saw what
information.
happened. Yes, there was crowd, but 70% of those that attended, when they shouted Nigeria, they responded Sai Buhari. That is to tell you their inner mind.
That was a lie.
Lead some people they go to the river, but you can't force it to drink water. In their inner mind, they have Buhari. That was when they shouted Nigeria, they responded.
You see, I want you to please listen very carefully and decipher between an intelligent mind and a crap, a trash bin, because I see Ahmed Gulag, who called himself this APC chieftain, a trash bag, basically. That's how I'm going to describe him. Let's follow in great depth the level of this debate.
February.
Were you
the embarrassment?
Were you there at the campaign ground?
We are grassroots politicians.
Were you there at the campaign ground to hear them say that?
We are always around with information, with what is happening.
They're asking him a particular question. Are you there? Yes or no?
I personally, I was not there.
You see?
Your question. But we know as a fact that was the embarrassing response the PDP
this
had in Northwest in
Sokoto.
Let me tell you, Nigerians
the
of
Confucianists
today will hardly believe and trust PDP, not because of the party PDP, but because of the.
You see, this guy is talking, and Galadima, his opponent on the other side, was busy listening attentively, never interrupted in his comments or what he's got to say. Let's fire on.
Dramatic personnel, the organizers, the leadership of that party is still the same. Nigerians will find it very difficult.
Who are the leaders? Because it's interesting, Alhaji Gulag, that you are saying this, because you, up until a few years ago, were a member of the PDP.
Of course.
And you held a very high position. You were a special advisor to President Goodluck Jonathan on political matters.
Shortly before the 2015 election. Don't forget that in 2014, I left that office. And I know the reason why I left that office. I left because
political prostitution. He left the PDP for the APC simply because of political prostitution. That Gazard is a prostitute. It's a prostitute. Ahmed Gulag. I'm accusing him live on my show on Facebook that he is a prostitute. Ahmed Gulag is a prostitute. I'll take your comment in a minute, Saratul.
I advocated for the party to be comprehensive and make appeal to Nigeria was not heeded to. Let me tell you, politics is about the people.
So how does it affect the dramatic personnel which you're talking about?
The same people who led PDP to the disastrous outing are the same people who are in charge, apart from the few that have bolted out of APC because of personal interests, whose interests have not been satisfied.
Alhaji, when you talk about
politics, is about the people, not about self.
All right,
if you think about the people, if you think about the country, if you think.
I seem to be getting headache. Politics is about people, and this same Ahmed Gulag, when he was on the other side of the PDP, when they were in government, Was he really thinking about the people? So, you remember I said he's a prostitute. So any government that is in power is where his own loyalty is to. So I bet if Atiku gets to power in 2019, or Omoyele Sowore gets to power, or Professor Kingsley Moghalu gets into power in 2019, this same Ahmed Gulag will quickly cross carpet to the other side, to the greener pasture. Let's carry on listening.
About development of the country, then you will come to the irresistible conclusion that the PDP as a party with the
just keep dropping your comments and
when you talk about this, how people may have left the PDP or left the PDP for the APC, a lot of people would also say many Nigerians are disillusioned with what is presently happening within the All Progressives Congress. We saw what is currently happening in Imo State and Zamfara State, and even some other states. A lot of
this is not peculiar to APC. It's in fact, it's also pronounced in PDP. It's about internal reconciliation of interests. Once you are in this political party administration of a team, there are divergent interests, and you have to harmonize as a leader.
Has your party been able to harmonize?
Of course, the party has its internal mechanisms to resolve this issue. Bearing in mind that some people are irrevocably and incurably irreconcilable because they believe their personal interest must be over and above the general interest. That is what has kept this country down.
All right. Engineer Galadima, you've heard what he has said. I mean, what he said is not totally different.
Now listen to what Galadima. You see, Galadima never taught. Never. See, of course. Galadima never. You see, I have really enjoyed this interview pace. Because I was watching Galadima with his composure, with his ability to listen, and then for him to only answer the moderator of the program's question. Listen.
Has made a lot of front page on the papers this morning. He says the PDP and its presidential candidate should not be trusted. The Vice President Moshibajo says the past of the PDP needs proper interrogation before 2019 election. What do you have to say about that?
Well, let me first address Ahmed Gulag himself. I hope the nation remembers who Ahmed Gulag is. I hope they remember. And let me say that he has already said he was the former political advisor in the government of PDP. That is enough to describe who he is. It's enough.
Yeah.
Ajib, any government in power. He jumped from the PDP
to the APC.
To the APC because he was.
Please. You have to
because
it is really, you see, I said it, that, you see, any government that is in power, you will see Ahmed Gulag. Ahmed Gulag goes to where power is. He's not interested in the opposition. He rubbed shoulders with Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. And when Ebele Jonathan lost, bam, the man crossed carpet almost immediately. And there we've got Engineer Galadima making reference to that. And the man is even making his own point. Gulag, bam, jumped in on his throat. Let's listen a little bit more.
You cannot afford because you cannot afford the point because
you expected to be appointed minister.
Principles.
You leave APC because you are not appointed minister. Please, if we are addressing political issues and campaigns, let us not reduce it to individual individuals. Because if you continue to say, yes, I was in PDP, were you not in APC? Did you leave APC as being alluded that because you expected to be appointed minister and General Buhari or President Buhari did not appoint you and you left APC? Is that the truth?
Is it the General Buhari who told you that, or I told you?
You told me personally that you were sad.
You are a big liar, please.
No, don't call me a liar. Don't call me a liar. You are. You told me when did I meet you? You said you are angry because I told you.
Can we have some decency,
because if you continue to reduce your campaign about individuals,
let's stay on the
that is
issue.
what has been reducing this country.
I like you like
principles.
This was, I was just laughing, guys.
Apologies for just a moment, sir. Just a moment, sir. Apologies for
everybody knows
for that point.
See, let me quickly take. I know we've got a lot of comment. Amina Olayinka said they don't have political ideology. No, they don't. No, they don't. Saratu Ahmed said what they don't know is that these APC touts go about distracting PDP campaigns with "Say Baba." Yeah, they are usually few, but they record that part to please some ignorant APC followers. Yeah, it is possible. Amina Olayinka said, I am beginning to love Aisha Buhari too. I love her boldness. She's a very courageous woman. Amina Olayinka, Aisha Buhari. Don't forget, she's well learned, she's well read. And Aisha Buhari cannot be pushed to one side. Let me tell you exactly what is happening right inside Aminat. Aisha Buhari has been threatened. She's been threatened. If she dare voice anything out, she'll be killed. Her children will be killed as well. So right now, Aisha is in a catch-22 situation. Yemi Osinbajo is equally in a catch-22 situation. Yemi Osinbajo cannot resign. Have you asked yourselves, why is Muhammadu Buhari not coming to the southwest or to go to the southeast to launch campaign? The elections in Nigeria is in February. Right now, the whole place should be full of life, left, right, and center. Buhari is nowhere to be found. The only person running helter-skelter across the nooks and crannies of Nigeria, from the northwest to the northeast, to the central, to the center, to the southwest, and to the southeast, is Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. Muhammadu Buhari will not even appear on a presidential debate. So the APC gave the presidential debate slot to the vice president to appear. Why are they hiding Muhammadu Buhari? Why is Muhammadu Buhari not chaired at least 5 or 6 Federal Executive Council's meeting that's been cancelled? The last one just this week was chaired by Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Is Professor Yemi Osinbajo the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria or Muhammadu Buhari? Why is Muhammadu Buhari running away from his constitutional obligations and duties to the nation? When last have they held Council of States meeting? Carlos Elekwa said, hello, sir. You're doing a great job. Thank you so much for that. Amina Olayinka replying, Saratu, we knew that it was a mistake, right? Somebody predicted it that there won't be elections in Nigeria in 2019. Predicted. Yeah, predicted. Now, before I begin to wind up my show today, the time is just coming to 15:32 London time today, Saturday, the 8th day of December 2018. I'm still your favorite man here, Frank Bello, still dishing out some hot stuff that you cannot get from nowhere. But before I begin to round up, I want you guys to listen to this American chap. Listen to this.
There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks. And it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want it.
The owners of the country, the owners, listen. It could be the United States, it could be Nigeria.
I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy businesses, just to control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls.
Come to think of it, Bola Tinubu owns the nation, owns the TVC, many of the media houses. What is that all about? The control of the mind of the people, because the media will control and manipulate your mind, and they will take absolute control of that mind through the tools that they want to use, so that they are the beneficiaries. That is how it works.
They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you,
it is already in Nigeria. Those people want more for themselves. Carlos Eleka made a comment by saying there's no difference between PDP and APC because they are all criminals. For me, there is no need for people voting for them because they are risking their life for nothing. Indeed. But then again, what about what this sweet American guy is saying? They own everything. Guys, it's just coming to 2 hours, 39 minutes that I have been on air. Today, I can see 48 comments gone on since I came on. I want to seize this opportunity because I'll begin to round up. I want to first seize this opportunity to thank all of you who tuned in to watch this special day edition. I'm going to make a special Christmas edition on Facebook very shortly, and it will be extremely tough. It's a special Christmas. I don't know when I'm going to do that, but that particular edition will be a special Christmas day. It's not going to be on Christmas Day, but maybe a few days to Christmas. I'm going to do that. And it's going to be extremely hot because I'll have to dig into a lot of wounds that are hidden that I want to blow out into proportion. So guys, let me seize this opportunity again to thank each and every one of you from wherever you've watched this podcast today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to share it amongst other people so they can equally benefit, please do so. You're free to share it. And I thank you wholeheartedly for tuning in. It's been my pleasure to speak to you, and it's been a pleasure for you to listen to all the things that I have to say. So until next time, guys, please look after yourselves and take good care. Have a great weekend. Thank you, and God bless you. Goodbye.